boys? What's up, my
Boys,
boys?
baby. I'm good. Episode 4 today.
Little
I
light.
appreciate
Little light episode 4. I like that.
already. Isn't that crazy?
Yes, it is.
So
Pretty.
this episode is going to be very heavily concentrated towards the NFL. The seasons are right around the corner.
This is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook.
I wish. I
That
wish.
was a lie.
We are going to have a little hiatus for Labor Day. This is the week before the season starts.
You won't even notice it for real.
No, you're gonna see us week 1. Don't worry, our cute little faces.
You won't even notice it.
So this week we're gonna do basically season predictions and kind of our hopes and dreams for our fantasy teams because we've not drafted yet.
That's gonna be fun. Because was it next Saturday? Next Saturday is our draft day, which is gonna
Yes,
be
sir.
a lot of fun. The league's still gonna do what the league does. We're gonna get in there. Everyone's gonna not do anything, no trades, nothing like that. I'll rock out with the teams we have.
Everybody needs. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this silence on the trade block. We need more trades to spice up these fantasy leagues.
I disagree.
You falling in love with that one guy who's been screwing you over all week. Why don't you help a homie out? You got
Because
something I want. I got something you want.
He's eventually gonna turn around and be good. So I'm not
In
trading
your
him.
head.
Not in my head. In actuality, and then also especially with our past, like let's say our past few times we had fantasy. A lot of the times, especially the people who built their teams, none of them made trades. None of them. Most of the time, it's legit. They made swaps a few players here and there during the week, like because they need a kicker here or this player is sitting and I need to get rid of this player so I can do that. Like for the most part, we don't make trades, and like I have probably made no trades. And
No, you made a trade. You made a trade the 1 year you lost in the championship.
Did I?
Yeah, you lost to Xavier, but you made trades because I forgot to. It was my first year being a commissioner. Bad job out of me. I did not set a trade deadline. So everybody was trading right before the playoffs with all the bad teams, and the good teams were just absorbing all of these players for absolutely nothing.
As they should.
There was back alley deals, money exchanged.
As it should have.
It was all bad.
great,
So
'cause
Commish
it
had to
was a
step in and pat everybody on the bottom
I
and be
was
like,
say,
no.
the crazy part is the commissioner was doing
deadline.
the same thing.
The commissioner realized what
commissioner-
was happening.
The commissioner had his family sit there and do the same thing for him, and he hasn't won a title yet. That's so sad. He hasn't won a title yet, and he did the same thing we did.
It's okay.
It is
We're gonna get it this year.
disgusting.
We're gonna
But
get it this year.
But I would say
The
if you have a
Cleveland
good
muscle
team,
crisis is coming back.
if you have a good team, I don't need to make trades. I got a good team already, and there's enough good people on the market that I don't need to make a trade.
That's not true because you got injuries to look out for that can really fuck over a lot of people. For example, last year I had DeAndre Hopkins on my team as like a backup plan because I had some good receivers. He was suspended for PEDs in the beginning of the season.
And that's like a low middle round pick.
Yeah, it was low risk, high reward.
Exactly.
Did not expect Kyler Murray to blow out his knee and have Colt McCoy there for the rest of the season.
Yeah, don't plan for that.
But I wish somebody would have traded with me so that I could have gotten something for the man because he was absolutely useless in the tail end of the season. Lord help us, fantasy gods. You did not have mercy on my soul.
Nor should they. They shouldn't have mercy on any of us.
That's what I get for being the commissioner.
But what I would say this, last year was a pretty good. I did the same thing that Mark did. I took Michael Thomas, and for the first 3 games of the year, it paid off. Like I won, I used him, I won because of him. Like he scored like 20 points in each of the first 3 games. So it was like
it's high when you're high up there and winning and scoring like
Yeah.
150 points a game. It's great. It's real
what is
great.
it? Like how you say this? He like I took him probably at the back half of our draft, and it was like, all right, cool. Like there are people that a lot of these ESPN and Fox Sports people will say, don't touch them, don't do that, blah blah blah. It's like if it depends on where you're taking them and what your team already looks like. Like personally for me, I kind of focus 2 receivers, then the quarterback, and then I try to get a running back or a receiver, running back, quarterback. Then the third round would be the quarterback.
See, a lot of people be drafting these running backs high, and then they just leave the best wide receivers in the league for hard taking, Tyler.
I feel like you always got. I feel like the first thing you should always try to get is a really good, solid wide receiver. Really good wide receiver.
Yeah, like
unless the quarterback is like
if it's between Christian McCaffrey, who's always like a top 5 pick, or like Justin Jefferson, I'm taking Justin Jefferson every time.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson isn't injury prone. Knock on wood. He doesn't get hurt. He plays every single game, gets his stats. He might be a diva, but that's why we like our receivers around here. If you're not a diva and the league's best receiver, then what are you doing?
I'm just gonna say, not everyone likes divas. I don't have a problem with a diva.
I like my receiver.
If you're a diva, you're a diva. I don't have a problem with it.
No, it's like your defensive lineman. Like, you want your defensive lineman to, like,
be a little bit angry,
have anger issues, and get into bar fights every once in a while. And when they're kids, not go to jail. Don't go to jail. I didn't say get caught.
Cam Jordan's a great defensive end, and he don't do none of that. Max Crosby's a great defensive end. He looks like the type, but it's not the type.
Yeah, but I want him to look like it. I didn't say actually do it.
I don't know about that.
I want my defensive lineman to look like Reggie White. The tape over the nose.
Well, maybe my DT, not my edge. If my edge looks like Reggie White, I'm gonna have a problem.
Well, edge is a little different now.
Yo, put the muscles on, big guy.
I wanted that motherfucker to look like Myles Garrett.
21. Can you do something for me?
Listen,
that's what I need. I don't need no chubby. Not too chubby, because there are different type of pass rushers on the edges.
I need me a Fletcher Cox.
In the middle.
My defensive lineman looks exactly like Fletcher Cox. He got that belly. He got that belly when he does the sack. He rubs on his belly. On Thanksgiving Day. That's what I need. A Warren Sapp type big boy, meat hawker, Mama Luke in the middle.
But that's also changing. If you look at like Aaron Donald,
it depends on your defense.
Like DeForest Buckner, like those guys aren't like really.
Aaron Donald's a generational talent, and DeForest Buckner is just a unit. Like, you're not gonna see those guys just sitting in the draft. It's not a common thing. That's something that you build your defense around because that guy's so good.
I guess.
So,
Merk, what are some of the things you got for today?
So, NFL predictions. So, we're gonna go through. We're gonna do a couple things. We're gonna do division winners. I know we did it last episode, but we're locking them in now. It's gonna be like halftime on Sunday Night Football. Once we lock that stuff in, hey, we're gonna be dealing with our consequences the rest of the season. Then we're gonna do accolades. So we're going to do MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and then also Offensive and Defensive Rookie of the Years. The betting odds are out. They're pretty solid right now. So we're going to go through those, give you our predictions. Hopefully we don't look too much like assholes.
I don't give a fuck. Most of these niggas on TV are wrong all the time. They haven't been writing.
They don't know
years.
Much better than we do.
They haven't been writing years. They still have jobs. No, I'm out here.
Let's be real. You can't cover all 32 teams with a fine-tooth comb.
Yes, you could. You have the money for it. You have the team for it.
No. I'm saying one person.
Yes, they can. Yes, they can. They y'all have writers, y'all have teams, y'all can do all this, but y'all are lazy.
But that's an entire team feeding information to, say, a Stephen A. Smith or whatever, and they're feeding him ideas for his segments. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we can't go through and follow the Cowboys. Why would we do that? They're not winning their division. But let's segue into it. So, division winners.
So
NFL divisions.
It's just easy. In the NFC North, I got the Baltimore Ravens.
You said NFC.
AFC North, I have the Baltimore Ravens. I've been on this. I've been riding this. I'm going to keep riding this. It is very much the Ravens, the Browns, then the Bengals, especially because the Bengals for the past few years have started kind of slowly, and then they've ramped up. And I think that if they start this year slower than usual with the competition that is in division. They are gonna they're kind of like they're gonna fall a little bit behind. Not
What's the
behind.
win total? Lock it in.
Ravens. I got Ravens going 13-4. Browns going 12 and
13-4. No. Just the Ravens, and then we're
13
moving
and
on.
4.
We'll move on to the next division then. AFC South.
AFC South. I got the Jaguars going like 10-7.
10-7.
Yeah, I got the Jaguars winning and going 10-7.
I thought you were a Colts guy.
There's a with the whole Jonathan Taylor thing right now. I'm kind of moving off.
I don't know if they could deal him right now.
I think they're gonna try, and if
Like, nobody has money right now. Every team has cap space.
well,
It's gone.
I'd say it's not just that. Well, no, the Browns have money. The Saints are another
Yeah, but
team
why
with
would
a lot
we
of
trade
money.
for Jonathan Taylor? It doesn't make sense.
Mark, because who knows? Because you could get rid of Nick Chubb after this year, and you replace him with just as good of a back
I don't want to think about that right now.
with more receiving capabilities.
Okay,
So Jaguars at 10-7.
Okay.
If not Jaguars, Titans.
so
Like I think those are pretty even teams.
AFC West.
AFC West, Chiefs going like 13-4. The 13-4 are like I'm leaning more 12-5 than 13-4, but I think the Chiefs are gonna do what the Chiefs do.
Okay. AFC East.
Jets going 13-4. Jets are 13-4. The Jets are going to be dogs. I know everyone's, oh my God, like the first 8 games are really hard. Yeah, they're going like 6-2 in the first 8. They'll be fine.
Okay. They'll be fine. So for me, AFC South, I got the Jags.
It's so hard to say that because my friend's a Jaguars fan and I don't want him to have anything.
And the thing is, I think the division is gonna be a little bit tougher.
No,
I think 9-8 is a good win total. I think they're gonna do exactly the same as they did last year.
they didn't
Exactly.
do 9-8 last year.
This is last year's results.
They went 8-9.
9-8.
Mm.
AFC North, I can't express enough that yes, the Ravens are going to be a tough team, but it's a new offense. They got a lot of older pieces on their defense. I'm going with the Bengals.
Older pieces on their defense.
Yeah, they got a lot of old dudes on their defense.
Ooh.
Their secondary is
Their
old.
secondary's young.
No, it's not.
Their oldest player, their secondary is like 25.
Their safeties are young, but their corners, Marlon Humphrey's up there.
He's like
He's
25.
He's injury riddled at this point. I just don't believe in I don't believe in the new offense.
I say Rocky Sin is also like 25, 26.
They just traded for him.
Who's
That's right.
old?
But okay, so maybe not old, but I still don't believe in their offense. I think Joe Shiesty's a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson. So I'm going with the Bengals, and I'm going 13-3 with the Bengals. I think they're gonna have a great season, or 13 and
That's 13-4.
13-4. Sorry.
They have more than 4 losses on their record.
So AFC West, you can't not pick the Chiefs at this point. I think their
disagree with
division is
that.
going to be exactly the same as it was last year. Chiefs 14-3, Chargers 10-7, underwhelming yet again. Raiders, well, I think the Broncos will probably win more games this year.
I'm going to say, I think the Broncos will be a little bit better. I think the
So the Raiders are definitely going to be last place. They're going to have like 3 wins this year. They're going to be a bad team. They're going to tank.
Oof.
And then AFC East is tough. I think it's going to be between the Dolphins and the Jets this year. The Bills are also a very good team. I think because there's still good teams in that division, the division winner's not going to have a lot of wins. I'm going with the Dolphins. They are going to have 11 wins, and they're going to win the division.
Not bad.
I just think that division is too good. I think they're going to beat up on each other.
Kind
of like the AFC North.
See,
did
that's
last year.
why I'm like, when you said 13-3, I'm like, how are the Bengals going 13-3?
I just think just Joe Shiesty. Like he's just Joe Burrow
he's
is
cool.
just
He's cool, but he's not that cool. Like
and the receiving core is the best in the league.
not
They got a
best in the
great
league.
running back. Their offensive line, they moved Jonah Williams to the right, got a new left tackle. I think they're gonna figure it out this year finally and be a
Ladies and
dominant
gentlemen,
team.
I'm just gonna tell you, don't buy into the Bengals hype. It's not there. It really isn't.
All right,
Their defense is not there. The defense is gone. There's like the defense is not gonna be the same. And then I would also say offensively, Joe's cool. They got the second greatest receiving core in the league.
No, the best.
Behind the Dolphins.
No.
Behind the Dolphins.
No.
Behind the Dolphins.
No.
They're good, but they ain't that great.
All right, let's move on to the NFC, Tyler. This is your team's division, the NFC South. So we know you're gonna pick the Saints, but what's their win total? 13-3.
13-3.
Wow.
What's the face go last year? Where did the Eagles go last year?
The Eagles? Do you think they're gonna have an Eagles season?
Yes.
14-3.
13-4.
17 games.
I think 14-3 is pretty accurate. 14-3 or 13.
Another reason why the Eagles lost because they had to play backup quarterback for 4
I'm
games.
about to say I look at the Saints. They play the same team that the Eagles played last year. If you go back for the past few years, teams that have played the Rams played the exact same schedule that the Eagles played last year, and they went to the Super Bowl and they won the Super Bowl that year. In the sense that they played the AFC, they played the NFC North, and they played the AFC South, two really mediocre divisions, and got to the Super Bowl. So
Speaking of the NFC North, who you got there, Tyler?
Vikings. I think Vikings going like a good 12-5, 11-6. I think it's a little bit more of it's a little bit harder of a race at the end.
It's a more evenly matched division. I'll say competitive. I won't say good.
I'll say competitive.
Yeah, because the Bears, Packers, Lions, and Vikings, the Bears were bad last year. The Packers lost Aaron Rodgers, so there's a question mark there with Jordan Love. The Lions, a lot of people don't know if they could trust them or not, but there is a bandwagon for them. The Vikings lost a lot in free agency.
I feel like they lost everything they needed to lose. Like, I don't think they lost anything that they could not afford or did not want to afford to lose. I think they know that the strength of the team is on the offense, and they have a great receiver. They got a really good young receiver to partner with him, and I think that people like T.J. Hawkinson, they're all going to make up for the fact that you lost Dalvin Cook, and I think their defense is going to be a little bit better than it was last year.
So addition by subtraction on the defense.
Yeah.
All right. NFC West.
Seahawks, easy. Seahawks going like
easy.
12-5 Seahawks.
You just not a 49ers guy, huh?
It's not even. I think Kyle Shanahan has been an incredibly overhyped coach since he's been there. And I also think that Brock Purdy isn't the guy. I think the guy is very much Trey Lance. I don't think Trey Lance is the guy either. I think they don't have their quarterback. I think that they fumbled around in that draft. They traded up. They should have gotten Justin Fields. It fell in their lap that he did not go second overall, which is hilarious because legit all the top 3 teams in that draft seemingly don't have a quarterback that is better than Justin Fields, and he went 11th to the Bears.
They traded 3 first-round picks.
Yeah, for Trey Lance, who hasn't played. And then
hey, did you see him against the Raiders? The Raiders backups?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't see any of the 49ers. I saw a little bit.
The only reason why I saw the lowlights was because it was on a meme page that I follow.
I'm about to say
it was quite bad.
I saw like the one pass, he threw it, and the guy dropped it, and there was another one where the guy hit it up and his receiver came in and caught the pass. I don't know if that was the Raiders or if that was another team, but
Trey Lance was patting the ball, took some sacks he shouldn't have, sailed the ball, looked like Baker Mayfield, but way worse.
Again, Justin Fields was the pick, and they all 3 of those teams botched it. Jesus.
Okay, so what's the Seahawks win total?
Seahawks 12-5.
12-5. Okay.
12-5.
NFC East, Tyler. I'm looking at you right
Cowboys. Now. Cowboys going 12-5. I think the Cowboys defense. I think that talk about a team that lost a lot in free agency. They've lost a lot in free agency, and they're going to be relying on a lot of young players. and hoping that they produce. And it's not that I don't think that they can produce. It's just I think it's going to take a little bit longer for them to produce, especially defensively.
It's Tony Pollard season.
It is a Tony Pollard season, but Deuce Vaughn do not appreciate Deuce Vaughn. Like, yes, he's small. He's not the biggest guy, but he's.
Is that the 5'5" guy?
Yeah, he's the running back from
Well, I mean,
K-State.
Darren Sproles made an entire career being small and shifty. Why not him too?
Exactly. I think Deuce. I think what's gonna win the day for the Cowboys more than anything is having Stephon Gilmore opposite Trayvon Diggs. I think that's
Have an actual corner that covers instead of trying to ball hawk every single route.
It's. I feel like you have a good balance. You have a balance of one that's not really gonna try for who isn't gonna get out of position for a pick, but also one that's gonna like, all right, I can.
Stephon Gilmore is a
off.
former defensive player of the year. I mean, you don't just get that for no reason.
Yeah.
They don't just, and even with corners like, or even
you
DBs.
have to work harder. You have to work harder for it if you're a corner than any other position.
Like the last DB that won it before him was Charles Woodson.
So
think about that. That's huge.
You really have to work for it. So I think that it's a very good balance. I think that it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out beautifully. So yeah, Cowboys going 12-5 in the NFC East.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go through the NFC now.
Yep.
So I'm going to start with the NFC East. It's my Eagles division. It's going to be their division this year. I think they don't do 14-3. I think the division, well, they could do 14-3, but they had lightning in a bottle last year. I think it's going to be really close between them and the Cowboys. The Giants are also going to be in the mix because they got better in the offseason as well. So I got the Eagles taking the division 12-5. I got the shit boys in second place where they belong because I just don't think Dak Prescott is going. What did he say? He was going to only have there's no way he's throwing more than 3 picks the entire season or whatever.
I don't think he said that. I think he won't. I think he said that he wasn't going to throw as many as he did last year.
No, he said a number. He said like 6 interceptions or something like that.
That was kind of goofy if he said that.
Yeah, it's
real
goober shit right there. NFC West, this is a really hard one because the Cardinals are obviously not in competition, but the Rams, I feel like, are a sleeping giant. But they had such a putrid last year. Ever since losing Jalen Ramsey, the defense is not the same. I think it's going to be between the Seahawks and the 49ers. I think the 49ers are going to take it. And they're going to take it with a 9 or 10. Like, this is going to be tough because you're expecting Geno Smith, if you're a Seahawks fan, to do exactly what he did last year, and I don't know if that's possible. Pete Carroll, I don't know. Pete Carroll's a great coach.
He's better weapons than he did last year.
Great weapons. DK Metcalf is a
better
beast.
Defense than he did last year.
Yeah.
You bring back Bobby Wagner.
You say Shanahan is overrated, and I think he doesn't get his flowers because he's never had a quarterback.
He gets
yet.
his dick sucked all the time.
He suffers from the same thing that Kevin Stefanski suffers from, where he makes bad quarterbacks look good. So, for example, Jimmy Garoppolo and Brock Purdy had similar San Francisco 49er debuts.
They're mediocre quarterbacks that
Jimmy Garoppolo went undefeated when he got traded from the Patriots at the deadline. Undefeated for the rest of the season. Same deal. Same deal as Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy went undefeated, then fucked up his UCL or whatever, and lost to the Eagles in the playoffs. Understandable. I think Kyle Shanahan's going to do it again.
I disagree. I don't think he ever really done it because there's been really bad mediocre quarterbacks to play for him, and they haven't reached the same heights. So I think
to be fair though, I have the Niners and the Seahawks having the same record, but the Niners having a tiebreaker.
Okay, I guess.
I think it's gonna be really close.
I don't know.
We're
Bosa
scraping
hasn't
by.
Practiced yet.
We're scraping by.
There's a few people on the defense that haven't
NFC
done
North.
anything.
NFC North. I'm resting on my laurels, going with the Vikings.
That's fair. Not a bad pick.
I think it's gonna be a lot closer though than it was last year because of all of their losses. They're going to have to figure out their run game with Madison and the new running back that they just added. So I think the games that they had to grind out last year are going to turn into L's this year. But I still think they win, and they have a 12-5 season. But I think the Lions, the Packers, and the Bears are going to have very similar records right behind them. And NFC South, this is a rough one because they all kind of stink.
I feel like that got to stop being said. They all don't stink.
They all kind of stink.
No, they really don't. Like
the Panthers and the Falcons.
If you go off just last year, I kind of get it. But if you're looking at like how the teams are orchestrated this year, there's an easy, clear, hands down favorite that is the favorite.
No, the favorite. The Saints is the favorite, but I don't think they're as good as you're saying they're going to be.
They are though. Like legit.
I think the Saints are going 10-7 and winning the division.
They're not going 10-7.
It's going to be an ugly division.
There's not 7 losses on their record.
It is going to be an ugly division.
See, that's another thing.
And it would be so funny if they lost to the Buccaneers because Tyler's going to blow his fucking top.
Why? Why would I? They're not playing. There's not 7 losses on their record. There's not. There just isn't. The teams around them aren't good enough to beat them
They're
twice.
The Buccaneers might.
The Buccaneers aren't that good of a team. Tom Brady went to that division, and only because of last year and how decimated they were on the injuries on their offensive side were the only reason why the Buccaneers won 2 games. The Buccaneers aren't that good of a team, and they're having.
Yeah, but you can't ignore Chris Godwin and Mike Evans.
Mark, you don't need to ignore. You don't. You're right. You don't have to ignore them. They shut them down, lock them up. What do you mean? This is just history. This is facts. These are numbers. This is not me. Oh, I'm in my feelings. No. This is what happens.
The only reason why I wouldn't pick them to win the division is strictly because of Captain Sailor Boy Baker Mayfield throwing the ball over even Mike Evans' head, which is going to be impressive to watch.
They barely won
It's
the
going to
division
be great.
With
Baker Mayfield is going to walk in looking like Popeye the Sailor Man,
ladies and gentlemen,
sailing that ball over his head, going right into the safety's arms, and Tyler's going to be laughing.
I'm going to be laughing
all the way back to the other end.
I just want to say this. Tom Brady barely won the division last year, so I have no faith. I have little to no faith in the Buccaneers. It's not because they have a bad team or their players are bad. You want to talk about a team full of old players? That's a team full of old players. On the D line, Vita is like 30 years old. He's been in the league for a very long time. Like again, these are truly old veteran players with a decent mix of youth here and there.
And the youth just hasn't been able to play because Tom Brady won't let them.
And
like they had a lot of very good young guys that they cut and or benched because Tom Brady did not like them.
There wasn't a lot. They never really had a good youth. Like Scotty Miller's still there. Tyler Johnson was the only other one.
Scotty Miller got put on the practice squad. What is it? Tyler Johnson, the other receiver they cut him. He had a great showing. There was no excuse to why they cut him.
Anton Woodfield is a young safety. I think this is going to be his 4th year in the league, and like when he got there, he started and he's been starting since. Like they have a good mix of like young talent. It's just not as much young talent as it is a little bit older talent.
I mean, we just got to see what their veterans are made of. It's going to be the vets versus
nothing.
It's going to be the vets versus the Saints versus the vets.
Sand is their
on
sand.
The Buccaneers.
And history says bad for the Buccaneers, bad for the Falcons.
Actually, Buccaneers won the division 2 years in a row.
Okay, the Saints won it 4 years in a row. You made a little bit of a wave.
I mean,
Calm
it's
down.
not really
the
saying
bigger
much
wave is
with
still
Matty
there.
Choke and
Mark, what do you mean? The year they won a division with Cam Newton. When Cam Newton was like before he really fell off. Cam Newton was doing great. Yes, you have a great quarterback. You don't have the same caliber of quarterback in Derek Carr.
All of these teams have major question marks.
No,
all
they
of
don't.
them.
No, they don't.
Yes.
Where are the Saints' question marks?
Quarterback.
No, it's not.
Yes.
How? You have a long.
Derek Carr falls asleep.
No, he
throws
doesn't.
Picks and
No,
blows,
he does not.
And blows fourth quarters.
No, he does not. He actually has the best fourth quarter comeback rating in the NFL out of all starting quarterbacks. He's a better fourth quarter quarterback than Tom Brady is.
A lot of
by facts, by
the
history.
Raiders games have to be fourth quarter comebacks, so they'll never
because they
win.
don't have a defense.
They never
Now you actually have a good defense that can actually play, that actually that can actually close out games.
And the reason why I say the Saints is because Derek Carr, a lot of his picks were because of the incompetence of the Raiders' offensive line throughout his entire tenure. The year that he was the MVP favorite and then blew out his leg on a nasty sack, this is all the Raiders' fault. I think Derek Carr isn't going to shine or anything, but he's going to be good enough. He's going to be top 15 quarterback caliber. He's going to be.
I feel like that's the thing. He's never been a top 10 quarterback. He never will be a top 10 quarterback.
No.
I'm not asking for a top 10 quarterback play. Can you be good enough to minimize your mistakes and your flaws so that way everything around you can shine?
Well,
and
that's
the answer
thing.
to that is yes.
We'll see what he's like
that.
with a clean pocket because the Saints have a good O-line.
I would say, legitimately, think of Jimmy Garoppolo when he went to in 2019 when he took the West face to the Super Bowl. That team was amazing. That was an amazing team around Jimmy Garoppolo. This is an amazing team around Derek Carr. This is about a 13-14 win team. Very few losses. They really don't play. They don't play anyone. Like the hardest teams on their schedule are like the Patriots and the Jaguars are the hardest team on their schedule this coming year. Like, you're not playing anyone. They're going to be fine. This is, again, I understand. I don't understand. I'm not gonna say I understand. I don't understand the shit talking almost of this team because it doesn't make sense. It's like if this was
because they haven't. They've been nothing but a question mark the past 2-3 years.
I don't think they've been a question mark. I think that they've just been hurt.
They have.
No, they've been hurt.
They've been sitting around waiting for Mike Thomas on their offense. They haven't been the same since Drew Brees on offense either.
I disagree with that because
Jameis Winston did not have a good tenure.
He did have a good tenure. He had a winning,
is a goddamn tight end.
He had a winning season. He had a one winning season, and then he had one losing season.
It wasn't a good tenure.
Mediocre tenure.
It wasn't a good tenure.
It was a good tenure. You went 9-8.
The defense held him up.
The defense did. As a person that watched that, as a person, especially his first tenure, the defense did not hold him up. He played great. He played great ball. He did.
There's a reason why he's not a starter.
Mark, he threw I think like 11 touchdowns, 3 picks in the 8 games that he played. What about that? What about that is not good?
Because
what about that says
he wasn't
Jameis?
He wasn't like
Mark, because you're playing with inside. You're playing the offense that you're being given.
Marquez Callaway was your number one receiver. Like,
yes, that year
every single time this team is battered by injuries. Their off the field antics are keeping up.
What off the field
Alvin Kamara
antics?
is getting suspended for his off the field antics.
That's one player.
Mike Thomas can't stay on the field. I just can't confidently say that they're going to be.
If you don't believe in the Saints, I think you're fucking stupid and you need help and you shouldn't be giving people sports advice.
If you know a Saints fan, give them a hug.
No, don't give them a hug.
Give them a
They're
hug
kind
in
of
week
tired
4.
of you people.
Give them a hug
you guys
in week 4.
aren't smart.
Just like this.
Like, no
Just
offense.
Like
no
it's
offense.
okay. Mike Thomas is going to come back. He's going to come back next year.
They don't even need him. I'm going to be honest, and that's the thing. He's probably not come back last year. This is last year. This is a 1-year contract, and I feel like they're most definitely done. This is why I think in the draft that it was very stupid of them to draft who they drafted this year. The draft pick should have been Nick Jigba because you needed the receiver to replace when Mike left.
Oh, and they wouldn't have had him. They would have started off with another surgery for another Ohio State receiver.
That's fine. I think, but I would rather start off that way than I'd rather start off like that and then build to greatness than kind of be like, do I really have what I need? But no, I think I got we'll go to like conference winners, or do you want to go to like
no, let's just go to accolades.
Bracket.
Let's go to accolades.
I don't really know anything about accolades. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I do not think in fucking August you're gonna predict the MVP.
Well, that's the best odds. MVP. Who do you think the MVP is gonna be, Tyler? There's a lot of hype for Justin Fields. A lot of people have been betting Justin Fields.
Joe Burrow.
I think that's a fever dream.
I think Joe Burrow will win his first MVP this year.
I agree with you, honestly. That's a good
Joe
one. It's
Burrow,
either him or Mahomes. I don't really
Joe
see.
Burrow wins his first MVP. That or Lamar wins his second. I don't think Patrick wins.
I don't think Lamar wins it.
I think there's a very good chance that Lamar wins the second, especially because I really do think that the Ravens will win the division this year. I think there's a great chance that Lamar wins his second MVP this year.
All right, offensive player of the year. This usually goes to a non-quarterback.
Offensive player of the year, I'll probably say, shit, Justin Jefferson.
You know,
I think as it goes, Justin Jefferson or another receiver.
I'm going Garrett Wilson.
That's a jump.
I think
that's not a crazy jump.
I think Aaron Rodgers is. I've loved Garrett Wilson.
Oh, time out. Hold on.
Throughout his entire tenure.
MVP Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers won his 5th one, and he breaks the record. My bad. I'm sorry, A-Rod. I apologize.
Okay, so Aaron Rodgers.
Sorry, big bro.
So in the scenario, you have Aaron Rodgers having the best season out of all the quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah.
So I think his main target's going to be Garrett Wilson.
You're not wrong.
I know. I think
Big
we
bro
all
really
know.
like that.
That's the most talented receiver on that roster. No offense to Lazard.
There's no one else on that roster. I'm about to say, who are you about to say? Who
I mean, there's a lot of
to?
guys. There's a lot of guys that are talented on that roster.
Not
but
him. Not him.
They're not Garrett Wilson talented.
As they know, they're not him talented. So no apologies, y'all.
And all their
be
young
better.
guys are pissed off and disgruntled because they've had to deal with Zach Wilson.
They don't have any young guys. They traded them all away.
No, Denzel Mims is still there.
Denzel Mims got traded away.
Did he get traded?
Dude,
Thought he was still there.
I'm about to say, listen, this whole also he's like 30.
Denzel Mims?
25.
He just got drafted a couple years ago.
He's a free agent.
He's a free agent? Wow.
Listen, all you niggas that are mad, be mad. It don't matter. You're not good like him.
All right, defensive player of the year.
Ass. Defensive player of the year, who cares?
I think this is going to be TJ Watt.
I wouldn't say TJ.
If TJ Watt
I'd be surprised.
If TJ Watt
I'd be
had
so
a healthy
shocked.
season, he would have had it last year too.
I'd be so shocked.
He's going to be the king of defensive player of the year.
I think Nick Bosa repeats. They like doing that. They like giving the same player back to back.
Offensive rookie of the year.
Probably a running back or receiver, like
Bijan Robinson.
Bijan or trying to think one of the 4 receivers. Not Quentin Johnson. I don't think it's gonna be Quentin Johnson, but
it's gonna be hard for Smith and Jigba
Zay
if he's
Flowers.
gonna be out for a couple games.
I say Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison, like one of those, or
Why is Will Levis plus 4,000? That doesn't make any sense.
because they just want you to bet. Also, because people don't believe that Tannehill is going to keep the job, so they think that he'll lose the job.
Cedric Tillman's on this list. I hate this list.
It's not a bad list.
Okay, defensive player of the year, I think is Jalen Carter.
The rookie defensive player.
Yeah, rookie defensive player of the year is Jalen Carter. He's the best player in the draft. Should have been drafted number 1 overall.
Tyree Wilson. Tyree Wilson and or the Texans. Fucking I can't think of his name. The kid from the Texans. He 3rd overall. Not Tyree Wilson. It's what's his name? Will Anderson. I think Will Anderson.
Was that defensive end?
Yes, he's the edge rusher. Yeah,
Joey Porter has offspring in the league now. That's crazy.
I'm about to say. I think that Will Anderson, Tyree Wilson, could very much challenge and could easily win defensive player of the year, rookie defensive player of the year.
Okay.
I would say defensive player of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if Micah wins his first one. I wouldn't be surprised if Nick won his second one.
All right, now for everything that we've been waiting for, we've done division winners, accolades. Now let's just run through the playoffs, Tyler.
Listen, with the first seed in the NFC, I got the Saints. Second seed, I got the Seahawks. Third seed, I got the Vikings, and the 4th seed, is the Cowboys.
Yucky. I got the Eagles being your 1 seed once again. Seahawks.
I thought you had the Niners winning.
No, I picked the Seahawks.
Oh,
I said they'd have the same record and the Seahawks winning.
okay.
I think by default, right, the Vikings 2 seed because with the record I gave them.
So Seahawks will be the 3 seed.
The Seahawks would be the 3. Niners.
It's already wrong, guys.
No. I don't think the Saints are going to have a crazy record. They're going to be the 4 seed.
13-4.
And then your wild cards are probably going to be the Niners, the Cowboys. I don't like any of these teams.
That's crazy. So
probably the Giants. The Giants will probably sneak back in. It's probably going to be the same, almost the same bracket.
Since he's struggling, as I said, so I got Saints 1, Seahawks 2. I got Cowboys. I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to say Cowboys 3, and then I got the Vikings at 4. At my 5th seed is going to be the Eagles. 7th seed would be the Lions, and for the first time in his career, the 7th seed, the Chicago Bears.
Wow, Tyler. That wild card is sneaky, bro.
I think the Bears are going to be good. I think the Bears should probably go like 10-7. I think Mark's not wrong. The NFC North is going to be a lot. There's going to be a very sneaky kind of competitive division this year. Not going to be easy, but I think that the Vikings can win it, but I think that the Lions and the Bears can most definitely get to the playoffs.
And for the record, the Vikings are not winning a playoff game this year, in my opinion.
Whew.
So for some reason, they're just allergic to playoff football.
So
let's go AFC.
First seed AFC, the New York Jets. This is not a joke. This is
the
real
New York
time.
Football Jets.
Do not play with them. They are for real. They real time. 2 seed, I got the Baltimore Ravens. 3 seed, I got the Kansas City Chiefs, and then the 4th seed, because they won their division, sadly, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay, and your wild cards?
My wild cards, 6th seed, the Cleveland Browns. Do not
Woo!
play with us.
You're telling me that we're going to be on top of the Bengals.
Yes, and we're going, yes.
But Joe Burrow is going to be second in your MVP voting.
He could be, yes.
Wow. That defense has to be garbage in your
How do you say this? I got to say, 5th, their 6th seed, the Bengals. Bengals being the 6th seed, and the 7th seed to close it out. The last one, I gotta go.
The Dolphins
go with
and the Chargers.
Dolphins.
The Chargers not making the playoffs in your head.
Chargers not going to the playoffs.
Ooh.
Neither are the Bills.
I forgot you left them out too. That's nasty.
It's not nasty. It's
wow.
I feel like there's a.
So you think the AFC East and the North are going to be slobber knocking each other?
Yes.
For that
and
final
then
wild card.
you just had no. I think that the Broncos are going to be there. I think the Broncos are going to try to make a late season push, but they just can't get past Miami.
You think the Broncos? I don't know if the Broncos are going to be up there,
the
man.
Broncos are going to go. I think Broncos going like 8 and 9.
They lost Courtland Sutton, right?
For the year. I think the Broncos will be going like 8 and 9, 9 and 8, something like that.
I can't see that. Jerry Jeudy and no, I can't see you there. My playoff bracket goes Chiefs at the 1 seed. I have the Jets at the 2 seed, Bengals at 3, and by default we got the Jaguars at 4. And then
by default, so sad.
By default, unfortunately, we have to put
until
them there.
Until next year when CJ Stroud really puts the shit on.
And then I think your wild card spots are going to be the Dolphins, the Chargers, and the Browns. I just think the Ravens always get injured. I mean, we'll see if they're healthy, but I'm not a believer. I'm also a known Lamar Jackson hater, so that too.
Yeah, he don't got a brain for real. He not smart. He's not smart. I'm telling you, like.
And then, okay, so Super Bowl winner, I got a rematch of last year, Kansas City Chiefs versus the Eagles, and the Eagles coming out on top.
That's crazy. That's just an Eagles fan bullshit.
Squad!
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's Jets Saints. I got the Jets taking the bowl this year.
All right, man. That we just laid it all out.
I am a Saints fan. I don't think they get it done this year, but I do think that they go back next year. They finish it in NOLA. But I do say this. Don't say this lightly. Jets, Jets.
I can't wait to talk about Hard Knocks next episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't.
Oh
I can't
man,
wait
keep
either.
keep an eye out for that. We're gonna go through next episode is probably gonna be a Hard Knocks episode, so be on the lookout for that.
And maybe covering a little bit of college football. You know,
Football
back.
week 0.
Football.
Football.
No, week 1. About when we record next week 1.
Yeah, we're recording next week, and then
Not next week. We're taking next week off.
Yeah,
And then that week that we come back,
football.
Ohio State plays that
Notre
Saturday before
Dame.
that.
Notre Dame, right?
Yes, Notre Dame. No, Indiana.
We're coming for you. We're coming for you.
Hey, listen, we appreciate you
Undefeated
guys.
season.
We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Make sure you guys stay out there, be safe. Other than that,
Drop a like, hit that subscribe button. You know, Ohio Boys Productions. YouTube
share
channel.
us everywhere. Put our shit everywhere. We love you.
Tell us how dumb we are if we're wrong.
Exactly, but I'm not wrong, so you can't tell me that.
All right, we love and respect you. Have a great day.
Bye.